Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Low Country Lunatics with your host, Chef Giuseppe from Apastioli and author of From Bars to Jars. We're going to get down, we're going to get real, talking food, faith, and fellowship every Friday on the Lunatic Network. Spill it out.
Low Country Lunatics, we are back. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Chef Giuseppe. And today is, it's all about gratitude, feeling good this morning. This episode is brought to you by Apastioli right here. We got some new products and fragrances, Reagan #3 on the market. Go to apastioli.com. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been watching, supporting, and picking up what we're throwing down. And today I got a kid here, Dustin Cremins. I hope I'm saying your last name right. Okay. I've been watching this dude. We're both in recovery, and I've seen him do a lot of work internally. He's growing spiritually. He's doing the deal, and the fruit is there. Like, he's bearing some fruit now, and it's all about attraction, not promotion, right? And I'm
Yes,
seeing
sir.
this kid start to glow, and it's like the bright spot in our lives is to watch others recover and get what we got, by doing the work that we do. So, Dustin, let's talk. Let's take it back. Like, where did you grow up? How did your life evolve from, like, go back to like a kid? What were you doing? Where did you grow up, and how did you how did your life progress?
Man, you know, I started off as a little wild child, man. I grew up in a little town called Hilliard, Florida. It's like right outside of Jacksonville. Um, got two wonderful, wonderful parents that I couldn't ask
Mm,
any better of.
mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I come from a lot of diesel mechanics and just the whole trucking industry. Well, um, my dad used to mud bog, man, on the weekends,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and so every weekend we would go out to the mud hole, and my dad had a truck and everything. So like I had like this set of Tonka trucks, man, and every time he would throw them in the back of the truck, I always knew it was time to go. Like I knew what time it was. So yeah, man, it just I started off in a little town, and I love football. Football was like my passion. It was always like my big dream, man. Like that one day I
Mm,
would play in the NFL, and the life we choose is kind of cuts us short of the thing, our dreams. You
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
so man, I got two older brothers. I got a sister. Um, I'm actually I actually got three sisters and three brothers, and I'm the
Wow, big
youngest.
family.
Yep.
You're the youngest of them, all of them.
Yep. I have a biological father, man, that hasn't really been a part of my life. And he has what, three girls, a boy and me. And then my mom, she has my two older brothers, Chris and Nathan. My brother Chris, he was in the Marine Corps for about 13, 14 years. And
Mm-hmm.
then my brother Nathan is like one hell of a car salesman, bro, at Auto Nation Ford and Lincoln in Jacksonville. And he just actually bought my mom a new house, man. Like,
Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome, man.
my mom and my dad, man. It's you know,
So
he's
y'all are
definitely.
tight.
We used to be when I was kids, man, and that addiction and stuff, like it really took me away from him and made us had a lot of differences. But that's one relationship I plan on
Trying to repair.
trying
Yeah.
to repair and making amends to, and
When did your addiction take off? Like, when did you start using?
man, I started smoking weed and stuff. It really started with like nicotine, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle that dipped, and my mom smoked cigarettes, man. So like the whole like stealing, lying, and cheating thing, man, it started young. I used to, my uncle used to leave, like the whole, the whole sleeve of like dip
Yeah.
cans.
Yep.
He used to leave them in the refrigerator, man, and my mom, she would leave her pack of cigarettes outside or something, and I just go out there and take one or two, or just grab a can.
So you
Eventually
said
it
you were
took.
wild.
Oh
You
yeah,
said you
oh
were
yeah.
wild. So like, was that part of like, okay, like why you were gravitating towards like the taboo, like the like I know I'm not supposed to be taking these cigarettes. I know I'm not supposed to be taking these dip cans, but I'm wild. I'm crazy. I need to calm down. Or was that part of it, or you
No,
just felt?
it was just more like, man, I was willing to take test the limits as far as they was
Mm.
willing to go, and
See what you can get
definitely,
away with.
yeah, definitely not a healthy way to grow up, but or a healthy mindset to have growing up. But everything would always catch up to me, man. Like I think my parents, like, they knew, so like I don't know. My dad was like, man, you leave a crumb trail everywhere you go, like, and so it eventually graduated to like smoking weed and thinking that was cool. I remember, man, like football games. So like I was still in like middle school and stuff, and I would go to the varsity football games on Friday nights, and my mom would pick me up, bro. I'd be so stoned getting in the car with my mom, and knowing I smelled like reefer, bro. Like,
Yeah,
so,
Friday nights it was on.
oh yeah, man, oh yeah.
What
Well,
position did you play? What'd you do playing on the football team? What was
man,
what was your role?
I played a little bit all over, man. I really love linebacker, middle linebacker. I played a little quarterback before. I played running back. Um,
Okay.
I mean, I played offensive line growing up. Like I played center and Uh, man, I've literally played everywhere.
So
Um,
then after the games, you're going behind the bleachers and lighting up, right?
well,
Pretty much.
that wasn't until like later on, like in high school and stuff. Um, like during gym and stuff, like, but during football games, on Friday nights and stuff, like there would always be like an after party, especially in that little small town, man. And
Right.
that's when the drinking and everything started coming around. Man, I had
Hmm.
buddies. I had buddies that would like take shots of Jack Daniels before football games, just so they go out there and hit you and like not feel nothing.
Right.
I'm like, man, y'all are brutal, bro. Are
And so what?
brutal.
So you just got kind of like hooked into that kind of lifestyle, like football party,
Yeah,
and
man. Yeah, that, and I'm not gonna lie, like it kind of runs in my family, like just like my blood of like
hmm
the alcohol, the addiction. You know, to where like my biological, he's kind of like a career criminal. Um, he's always in and out of prison, man. Like he can't stay out for like 6 months or more, and he goes right back in. Um,
Have you talked to him since sober?
I talked to him one time when I turned 18. I met him when I turned 18, man, and just we had us a long conversation. I even went behind my mom's back and did it because I was 18. They told me that when I turned 18 that like you're grown and you make your own decisions. So like,
Hmm.
um, I just really didn't care for anything I seen or heard.
Hmm.
That and my mom's always been like my protector, man. And no matter how wrong I've ever been or the things I've done, my mom's always had my back. You know what I mean? And
Of
I think
course.
that I think with my addiction and everything, because like, man, like I said before, this is like my seventh time getting sober.
Mm.
I think it took her a while to actually like really believe that I was an addict and that I had an issue that, like it's the mental obsession is real. Like you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Like you're beyond human aid. Like at what point were you like beyond human aid, do you think? Like where did it really take off? Like full time?
so man, I would drink bad when I was about 20, 21, but it really didn't really kick off really hugely bad until I was about 22, 23, and I got into like methamphetamines and stuff.
Mm,
Um, then it was like off to the races, bro. Like, um, not even that, but like I've kind of like always been an IV user.
hmm
So like I feel like once you go that far, man, it's hard to come back.
So
You
when did
know.
you realize you needed help? When was the first time like you know, what did that look like?
Oh man, to be honest with you, I trying to think back. I was so my daughter and my mom or her mom had left Florida. I had gotten like really, really bad off, and I started messing around with the last bit of heroin and turning it into fentanyl and stuff that there
Mm,
was. And like I don't know, man, it got bad. I love that stuff for some daggone reason, but it wasn't so potent to where like I don't know to where I overdosed or anything like that.
thank God.
It still had that heroin in it, so it would like last. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I I wound up just telling my mom, or called my uncle and told him because me and my uncle are really really close. I got twin uncles.
Mm,
Um, but I called my uncle Roy and I told him I was like, man, I need to go to rehab.
mm.
And not even that, but the lifestyle that was coming with it, man, like ripping and running, like man, I stole the crack man's motorcycle, man, and I had him looking for me in the neighborhood, and like
Damn.
it just wasn't good. So I was like, that, and I was scared. So I was like, man, I need to go to rehab.
hmm
And
So you're starting to get into trouble, basically.
yeah, yeah, and man, I went to this place called Gateway Recovery or something like that. It's in Jacksonville, and man, I've been there like 5 times, bro. It's crazy.
I get it.
And some of the people that worked there the first time I was there still knew who I was the last time I went. And I just had went last like September or October.
So that was your last time? Last September?
Yeah, that was the last time I went to rehab in Florida. So that was like my fifth time, or no, my sixth time. And then I wound up coming to South Carolina, and that was by the grace of God, man. That was just God taking the wheel, bro. Because so this last time I I got fired and my car repoed less than a minute.
Damn.
Like it was bad. I and as soon as I got fired, or as soon as I got my car repoed, the guy that was, because my license was suspended at the time, he was driving me to work, but
hmm
he was also my boss. And man, as soon as that car went out the window, he fired me because
hmm
he didn't have no ride no more. And
Right.
I'm like, man, like this is some bull. Well,
hmm
um, I wound up getting back to like this room that I was renting or whatever, and I'm talking to my parents about like how to get this car back and like how much it's gonna cost, and I'm like so bad off. Not even that, but like, man, I had hurt my family a lot, and I think I'd done something I never thought I would do, which was like steal guns from some family members, and so my
Hey,
mom.
let me put a disclaimer out here. Don't incriminate yourself on
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's why I paused because I was just thinking about that.
And I can edit this too, so we're
No, you're
good.
all
We're
right.
good.
You're all right.
But
Uh, so anyway, like my mom like had cut all my ties, bro. Like with all my family, like my
mm,
brothers, like so. I literally was having to call my dad if I needed like $20 in gas, and
hmm
they wouldn't give me cash or anything. So everything I was having to get with cash, I was just having to hustle.
yeah, so you lost all trust, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely, all trust. Well, my mom was like to the point, bro, like she wanted to whip my ass.
I bet.
Well, I called my dad, and I'm like, Dad, look, like I'm not liking this. Like this is not fun. I'm tired of this. Like I feel like every time I try this, it never seems to work. Like man, I've had 2 years sobriety before, and got one, got the house back, got the car back. Got my kids in my life, man, was able to provide for Christmas, like all kinds of
Mm.
stuff, man. Like was really
When was
enjoying
that?
it.
When was that?
Uh it was from 21 or 22 to 24.
Okay. And
And
then you went back out. And then went back out and started tearing it
yeah,
down again.
yeah. Um and it's all based off choice, you know what I mean? So like I can't blame nobody. I can
Yeah.
say that there were influences. You know,
Yeah.
I have a cousin that like he suffers with the same
Yeah.
addiction, same problems. And
Like when you stayed sober for those 2 years, were you like working a program? Were you spiritual at that point? When did God like enter your life? When did you start?
so man, I had started in like a sober living kind of like what I'm in now.
Hmm
And I stayed there for like a whole year. Well, I got out of there because I had started talking to this girl, moved in with her, like was there for like a month, bro. And I had to move back to the sober living. And so I moved back. Well, I wound up getting kicked out of the sober living, not because of like using or anything. And man, I stayed in this van with this guy that was like a minister at this church. He had like this van outside with a blow up bed. It was like one of them old box vans.
hmm
And so I lived in that for like 3 months, man.
Damn.
Well, I had this job at a burger restaurant, and my manager had offered me a place to stay, and me and her became like real tight. And she was just really a great influence. She was in sobriety as well.
Okay.
So like she was just a great influence on me, man. And I might have done things wrong there. But while I was living with her, I lived with her for about a year, and she wound up moving out, and I took over like just paying the bills for the house that we were in. And man, that lasted a good 6, 7 months, man.
hmm
And then I wound up getting in this car wreck, bro, last September 9th, last year.
uh
And man, I ain't gonna lie, like this is how crazy the addiction is, man. Like I I continued to use knowing that like that was my downfall. Like that's why I was in that wreck, and I was Ubering late at night, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, man. And I was just about done, and I was trying to get some. I was in this like really rough neighborhood in Jacksonville, and I had dropped off my last person or last rider, and was trying to get somewhere safe to go take a nap. Well, last thing I remember, man, was going over these railroad tracks, and then smack. I smacked it. You ever heard that saying like you got hit by a Mack truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hit. I smacked the Mack truck. It was bad,
Damn.
but I got
So
rushed
you
to the
had to go to the
hospital.
hospital?
Yeah,
Hospital?
man,
Yeah.
my face was leaking. My ribs were bruised. I mean, I don't think I've ever been so beat up in my life, man. And
And then they gave you painkillers, right?
a little bit, and then you know I had other people that kind of helped with that too. So
Right.
um, like I was released. I want to say the same day, but it was like later that day. Um, man, I remember them just ripping the clothes off me like it was nobody's business, and I just
Mm.
wanted to know where my mom was. And the lady was like, she's like, let me see if she's here. And I got this neck brace on and everything, like strapped down to the bed. And like I see my mom walking out of the corner of my eye, and man, I just started bawling, bro, like bawling. Well, it was on like Donkey Kong from that. And then I wound up trying to go to rehab. I want to say either in December or January of this year, and I was in Jacksonville. And man, like I spent like a week there and got out, bro, and started using all over again.
Damn.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it sounds like the insanity of it. Like, you're still, it still had a grip on you. You had that monkey on your back.
Yeah, knowing the result that I was gonna get, and knowing
Hmm.
that like my life was about to just continue to crumble, and all I wanted it deep in my heart was it to be fixed, and I couldn't do nothing about it, and I just didn't. I didn't get involved into the recovery community down there. Like,
Were you isolated? You were having a hard
yeah,
time connecting with people?
when I had my own house, man, that's really what I felt was like. I felt so depressed sometimes because I was just there by myself until I had my kids, man. Like, I don't know, it just like I hated going home.
Yeah, you're lonely.
Yeah,
Well, what did they say? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, right? And
yes, sir. That
whenever
whole.
whenever we start feeling one of those things, we got to do something, take some action. So, what are some of the actions you've been taking now? So let's talk about the good stuff, man. Let's
All
talk
right,
about
all right.
how things have changed. You know what I mean?
So let's start with this. So I had when I first had gotten to Charleston, I had like been to my first meeting here in Charleston, and I was like, man, I know for a fact this time I have to get in that book, man. And
Yeah.
that book it's been doing the work. I say I can sit here and say all day long I'm doing the work, but that book is what's showing me how to do the work. So it's really doing the work.
It's the instruction manual
Yeah, exactly, man.
to
Exactly.
life.
And as long as you read it from front to back, man, it'll tell you how to
Yeah.
live, man. And I
So
think,
you stay in the book then, like
yeah,
every day.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And like, so with the experiences I've had before in the program, like this time I really understood my way of thinking, the way I act, the way I talk, everything. Like I understand who I am today
Hmm.
and what that makes me be.
Right.
And I understand that the malady, the allergy, you know what I mean? I come
Yeah.
to comprehend everything.
There's no you can't make an alcoholic a normal drinker. You can't make an addict a normal safe user. Like
Yeah,
like you can never use it safely. You can never use any substance safely,
yeah,
right? So it's like full abstinence or we ain't gonna make it.
yeah.
But then okay, so now talk about the third part, the spiritual malady.
So like I have I have to be spiritually fit every day that I wake up. And so here this past week, man, I've had to get a new sponsor because my old sponsor kind of moved away, and I I have to do a gratitude list every morning. And not even that, but I start my mornings off asking God to help me live in His will.
Hmm.
And here lately, man, that's been a really, really big impact on my life. Like I'm learning a new position at work and learning how to do something I've never done before.
You're pumping
And
concrete, right?
pumping concrete, baby, pumping concrete. And I actually got to pump my first job like 2 weeks ago, and I was so nervous, man. And he kind of like just tossed me out there, man. It was like, "You're starting the job, start to finish. Like I'll be there if you need me, but I'm gonna try not to like. You're gonna have to
Mm.
figure this out." And so while he's telling me all that, like I'm just sitting there praying, man. Like God, please just help me. Like, like let this go smooth. Don't let nobody get hurt. Like
Right,
if
because it's a
this is
dangerous
some,
job, right? It's dangerous,
yeah,
right?
it can. Yeah, it definitely can be. It definitely can be. Because like that truck, if you don't set that truck up right, it can flip over. You know, because you got
Mm.
like this big old boom on the back and like swivels everywhere. So, not even that, but concrete. If that thing gets plugged up, man, it'll launch out and hit
Mm.
somebody.
Mm.
But
Yeah, so you definitely need God watching out for you while you're doing that stuff.
oh yes, sir, yes, sir. And I was so nervous about it that I thought I was gonna mess. That it was all gonna be messed up. He's gonna wind up taking the controls from me, like. But
Yeah.
it went super super smooth, man.
Wow.
And I did everything to start to finish.
It sounds like you're starting to have like a God confidence. You ever hear that before? Like if you're walking with God, like you feel, yeah, you're scared about doing something that you've never done before, but then once you tap into the power and now it goes smoothly, you got to be walking around with a new kind of confidence, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because let me tell you the difference. About 4 or 5 days later, you know, we pump concrete early in the morning. Sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, we're out there setting up the truck, and the guy that's been training me, he's like, "You want to do 2 out of the 3 slabs?" He said, "I'll do the first one. We're going to do the second and third one." And I'm like, "All right." And I'm thinking like, "Yeah, man, I got this. You know, I did good on them footers." Like,
Hmm.
and nah, man, it was a little rough that time. But the difference was, man, and I noticed it right off rip. So I had to catch myself after that first slab. Was I need to stop and pray.
Yeah, right.
I need to stop and pray because if I don't, this is going to continue to go rough. I have to acknowledge God and let God know that He's in my life and that I do need Him to help me do the littlest thing in my life.
And you got to trust them. It's not,
Exactly.
you can't just have, faith and belief is great, but if you're not trusting it and like letting go and actually allowing him to work, like you still taking back the controls, that shit don't work.
Nope. It never has.
Right.
You know, and I would say like, my upbringing, like I've always known religion, especially Christianity and Jesus
Hmm.
and God. So like I would never say that like I grew up agnostic. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Definitely been a believer all my life. Like it was just kind of
But
how I was raised.
but did you find that you just didn't know how to have a relationship?
That part,
Yeah.
that part. Um, that and I just like always every time like I would relapse, man. I just felt like sometimes I didn't know if God was punishing me or like if God, or even if I was even worthy
Uh-huh.
to have God. You know what I mean? Like man, and my mama tells me all the time, like, son, you keep spitting in that man's face. Like
Hmm.
one day he's gonna turn his back on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's been my biggest fear this time because I never thought that my mom would turn her back on me, and so to know that that was possible, it just made a lot more things clear this time.
When we start running out of those lifelines, it's like we got nowhere else to turn but God. So we better trust that He's going to take this, or we're going to die.
Oh
And
yeah,
for me, like I had to get smacked around, bro. Like you said, just over and over again, tempting those lines, like tempting fate. Okay, like to try to have God like prove to me that He's there and prove to me that I can trust Him. Like like if I don't die in this situation, okay, then it's like a
Yeah.
game.
Hey, listen. So about that thing I said earlier, that was what my mindset was. Is like, God, if I can walk away with this thing and
Hmm.
not die, I understand you want me to live. But if I die, I guess it's just my time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and
Right.
that's crazy that I even had that mindset, man. Or just like, I don't know, and
Well,
knowing deep in my heart, like I was not in good faith with that man.
yeah. Right.
Like I mean, I believed in him, but I just knew that like we wasn't at good standing.
Yeah, right. It's like okay, back to the relationship, having a relationship with somebody. It's like, it takes communication, right? Communication, listening, talking, and listening. But we got to be talking to them, and then we got to be listening for the answers.
Yeah,
Like and for a long time, it was just me talking and no listening, and then like we're supposed to walk with God. So imagine if you're like God's with you, Jesus is with you and you guys are going on a trail hike or something and you just run, you sprint, and you're
yeah,
leaving God back there. God's gonna be like, what about,
yeah.
I thought
What
we were
about
doing
me?
this together. Yeah.
Yeah. So what really changed my perspective, man? And perspective has been a big influence this time in
Mm,
recovery. Understanding what that word means and understanding, that my perspective can change, and not even that, but like I have two ways of viewing things, good and a bad way. And you know, I read this book when I first got here, and it's called Two Chairs,
mm.
and it's about basically like putting a chair beside you every morning. You're outside drinking your coffee on the porch or whatever, or just like anywhere you go, like leave a chair for God. And you
I like
know,
that.
you basically like you're talking to God, but you pause and you leave time for God to respond.
Hmm.
And man, it's really like opened up my eyes to listening,
Yeah.
and to try to have to give that moment for God to show me what an answer is or show me what a sign is, because I'm an addict, man. I want that instant gratification. I want what I want right now. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
sometimes God don't work that way, man. You
Yeah,
know?
that kind of thinking, like that instant gratification, has gotten me into trouble more times than not. It's like expectations, expecting magic to happen just because I think it should, but
Yeah,
it might not be good for me. And as a matter of fact, most of the time, my first thought is wrong. Like I'm gonna make that's gonna set me up for failure. If
yeah,
I take those like that instant gratification, the impulses. I'm very impulsive. But
definitely, definitely.
if we pause, like what you're saying, pause and let that voice come in strong. Wait for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And see, this time I really understood what the obsession of the mind is, because I can go like I was just on the phone with my mom probably like a week ago, and was like even explaining me as a child, the obsession of the mind that I had,
Hmm.
and didn't even know at that time that I was going to be an addict. Never like knew what an addict was, or
Right.
never thought about being one. Like, and as a kid, like that obsession was there, and I think that's where it all started. Was like anytime I would think of something, I if that's what I was thinking to react, I had to react on it. I couldn't go the opposite way. I couldn't walk
Right.
away.
And now
Or
Now, how does obsession benefit you in recovery? Because you could apply that obsession, that compulsion, right, into recovery, and now and business too. It's like
yeah.
kind of required. You could
So
excel.
I've took that obsession and turned it around to where like I'm obsessed with reading that book now. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with talking to the
Mm,
God of my understanding.
mm,
I'm obsessed with
yes.
with reaching out to people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, bro.
I'm obsessed with trying to help somebody now. You know what I mean? And just trying to do the next right thing.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know, and I've seen time and time again, if I just do the next right thing, the blessings that come with that, and not even have to expect
Right.
blessings or want blessings, but just the blessings that come with it, man, are just they make you really, really grateful, man.
I was just gonna say, bro, like I could tell, I could feel the gratitude, and I know as a result of doing these things, the next right thing, that gratitude that I feel, I know you're feeling the same thing, and it binds us, right? It's like
Yeah,
the recovery, the process, just as much as the disease and the illness binds us. We got that common problem, but we also got this common solution that we could, talk about, and then yeah, man, like I see you on fire. I see it, and I feel it in myself too. It's like sticking with the winners,
yeah,
and you're winning, bro. And another thing too, like like your mom is super important to you. She got to be so proud right now, bro.
bro. My mom's like my guardian angel, man. And don't think that woman ain't scared to beat my ass now, but I mean, she loves me just as much, you know, and she loves me still, even when I've made her the maddest, you know. And I kind of use that as being when I'm a as me being a father, you know what I mean? How I look at
Mm.
my kids, you know,
Are you
because
talking with your kids? You talking with your kids now?
yeah, yeah, man. My son just finished up his last baseball game last night. My daughter, I just had like this wonderful, wonderful movie night with my daughter like 2 nights ago.
Damn.
Um, Trying to have another one tonight, but last night she wound up going to her first concert ever. She's 8 years old. Um, Man, like I
That's
love
cool.
my kids, man. My kids are absolutely the best thing that I've ever done and the best thing that's ever happened to me, man.
Mm.
Just hands down. Um, you know, like I said earlier, I feel like my my bloodline or my last name is a curse, you know, and with my kids I sit back and look at them and I'm just like, man, I pray to God they never have to go through what I've had to go through with this, you know, and I just hope that I'm that one that breaks this and that
Mm.
they don't have to live like that, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't imagine being in my mom and dad's standpoint and watching their kid have to be homeless or, you know, just struggle all the time and, you know, look like a zombie, you know, and just think that he's
Yeah.
all right, you know, that he's living his best life, you know what I mean? Like, no,
Hmm.
man, not at all, you know.
Yes. See, for me, like I took all that for granted. I took all the love. I knew I loved my kids. I knew I loved my family. I knew they loved me. But I was so trapped in my mind and what I needed to feel right, which was killing me. And then I didn't realize it. So it's like on the flip side, you talk about, I hope your kids never have to go through what I did. So I wasn't part of my kids' life for a long time, and man, that was probably the best case scenario, honestly, because if they saw me while I was doing my thing, it would have been more damaging. And now, like this whole time I've been going, they've been getting involved with ministry work. They're doing like mission trips. They're really good, smart kids that don't want to be anything like me. And
Yeah.
that is a relief to me,
Yeah.
which is weird to say, right?
Oh yeah. It definitely is, man. It definitely is. And my son plays sports and stuff and I absolutely love it. But one thing that I don't know what they had to get it from their mothers, man. Absolutely, because they are just the smartest kids, the politest kids.
Mm.
Um, just blow your mind. Like my daughter is in like second first or second grade and is on like a fifth grade reading level. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like she's
that's great,
just absolutely intelligent. My son, man, I've never seen a kid build Legos like my son, man.
man.
Like he's like a little engineer already. You know what I mean? He's obsessed with dinosaurs, man. Like he can tell you absolutely every dinosaur's name,
Mm,
pronounce it correctly.
yeah.
Like, and
Wow.
I'm 30 years old, bro, and still have a hard time with anything but a T Rex. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: where do you see your future? Like, I know we're not supposed to future trip, but what are some things that you want to really accomplish? What do you like bucket list type things?
Um, I the house, the car. You know what I mean? Um, I can't really sit here and say all that because I know with the blessings of recovery that all that will come. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I've had it before. You know what I mean? And just by doing good, all that came. I didn't really have to earn it. I didn't have to work my ass off for it. It just came. You know what I mean? So like that's when people ask that question, I try not to involve
Yeah.
them things. So like things on my list would be like
Like,
to
you ever
have
want to
my
travel?
yeah, hell yeah, bro. If I could ever go outside the country to like Italy or like Puerto
Mm,
Rico or like man, it don't matter, man. Just to go out and see the world, you know what I mean? Or just be able to go to the other side of the country. You know, my daughter is on the West Coast. You know what I mean? They're actually moving to California this weekend from Oregon.
wow. And what about like in experiences too? Like sharing memories, right? For me, like that's what I'm noticing about me is like right now, like I want to create memories, man. I want to do things.
I want to be able to buy my kids their first vehicles. You know,
Hmm.
I want to be able to turn this thing all the way around. You know what I
Yeah, man.
mean? To where like they'd be like, "Well, damn, dad might have had a hard time paying child support, but man, he got it together, man. Look, we both got cars now, like
Yeah.
and I would love to be married one day, you know, if that's what God willing, you
Hmm.
know, you know, I would love to be back a part of my family, like I never left, like I was there when I was a kid, you know what I mean, and just repair all that damage.
Yeah.
I would love to have my CDLs. That's something I'm really working hard towards and really trying to accomplish at the beginning of the year. Um that's always been something I've really wanted to have, you know, not just because of pumping concrete, but just like like I said, everybody in my family are diesel mechanics, man, and either they own trucks or they work on trucks, you know what I mean?
Right. I
And
was back to the Tonka trucks going to the so it's
yeah,
all starting to come full circle.
yeah,
Well,
man.
it's one day at a time, man. So I just want to encourage you to keep going, bro. Like I've been watching you, and you're on the path, you're on the beam, and this has been a great episode. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. We've been talking about it for a while now, and finally it happened. In God's
Definitely.
timing. So
Definitely.
listen, I just want to say thank you again for being part of this and being part of my recovery, and I'm rooting for you, bro. And I know a
I,
lot of other people are too.
yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you're a part of mine, man. I'm happy for this opportunity. I'm happy that we get to have this relationship. I'm just happy that I can spread my message, you know what I mean? And maybe share some
Definitely.
hope with somebody else that might need it more than I did.
Definitely. And so, in closing, listen, anybody who's listening, if you got a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help available. And I encourage you to do some research, do some homework, and watch this video clip that I'm about to play. And God bless everyone. Thank you so much. This is the Low Country Lunatics. It's been a great episode 21. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Dustin, thank you, brother. God bless you.
Thank you.
If alcohol builds a wall around you that doesn't let you see where you're going, that keeps you feeling isolated and alone, that makes you feel hopeless, know this: we're here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.